They might- People might enjoy our banter of deciding what we're going to talk about first.
Yeah. Yeah, because we were just saying, where do we even begin?
I don't even know. I'm just so annoyed by both right now. I'm just like, hopefully, when we start Perfect Match,
Yeah.
it'll get exciting again. Like, my love for reality TV is like diminishing.
Well, I can understand that. Also, I got real fired up about Married at First Sight.
Well, then we can start with that and you can fire me up because I just like, I'm gonna be real honest. Like the decision day for Chloe and Michael and all the blah 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 of like rehashing everything for the 40th time.
Yeah.
I definitely fast forwarded because I don't want to hear. I just want to know. Like I just want to know what they decided. And I honestly am pretty shocked that he said no. Actually, I'm not shocked, but I'm disappointed because
Me
I
too.
really felt like, and maybe there's more that we don't know. I really felt like they were a good fit for each other. Like I really like Chloe. I want to marry Chloe. Like she's like such
Yeah,
a nice girl.
she's a
Like
catch and she's so
yeah,
cute. Yeah, she's a catch. I think, I mean, he said like in the reunion basically that he just didn't show up and put it all in.
yeah.
So,
I
you know,
just think it's annoying. Like maybe they're afraid if they don't say no on decision day that the show won't pay for the divorce
a
because he's like,
divorce is
I
not that expensive. I mean, I got a dissolution. I did a dissolution and it wasn't that expensive.
okay. Okay. I'm just thinking, like, why would he
Because
say,
these
well, we don't really
people,
have the base to continue this relationship for marriage? And it's like, okay, but that's the whole point of like dating and getting to know each other. And you guys seem like you get along really well.
yeah,
You both talk the same with all your big fancy words and all your
big fancy word.
expressions of emotions. Listen, Michael throws down some words that I'm like, I should look this up and see if you're actually using it correctly. Cause I'm like, whatever.
That's hilarious. Um, no, so I personally think that um sorry, this is funny, but I'm just gonna say it. I got distracted by my own boobs. My boobs look
Oh,
good today.
yeah, I've been staring at them. I'm just like, and then I was thinking, if I had an outfit like that, would they look like that? Because I think your outfit's really cute. I'm like, okay,
Oh my
would
god.
mine perk up enough
Yeah, you just have to get
to
them in there, right?
look like it's
Anyway,
fake?
that's funny. Anyhow, back to the show. So I feel like these people, especially like Michael and Chloe, I could see why some people said no. But for Michael and Chloe, I just personally think, and I feel like I saw it when Michael was talking to Brennan, and then when he talked to his friend about his decision, that he had this pressure in his head about decision day and marriage. And he had to know on decision day, it was almost like he was getting married on decision day rather
Yeah,
than going, I'm already married. Am I happy exploring this more?
yeah,
Because like you're already fucking married. So
yeah.
you don't have to get divorced just because you don't know if you're going to stay married for another 15, 20, 50, 60 years
Right.
because you already took the plunge. You already did the stupid thing and did married at first sight. So like
Yeah.
now is not the time to start getting like all in your head about, oh, is this going to last forever? Well, tough titty. You've already done it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's annoying to me. The whole season was annoying. All of these people, I just was like, all right, you guys are just
But do you think
children, just a bunch of children. They were all so, and I hate to say that because I'm sure it was hard for them. Blah, blah, blah,
yeah.
whatever. Like, I am not trying to be mean or belittle anyone going through what they went through because I have no idea. I was not part of it. But it
So
all just seemed so childish.
a lot of it did. I do have, well, I have a couple things I'm fired up about. One thing I'm not fired up about, I'm just curious about is do you remember Brennan's conversation with Michael and the advice he gave him?
No.
Okay.
But Brendan, I tuned him out. I'm over him. I mean, I remember them talking,
So
and I
I wonder,
probably like my gut instinct is probably like ew, but
okay. Because I wondered if that shifted your opinion of him at all. Because I feel like he
no,
gave Michael really good advice.
I did not know because even if that would have been like, oh wow, Brennan, I probably have been like, well, I don't even know that I believe what you're saying.
Okay.
And I think I wrote down Michael's friend's advice. I did write that down. I have to look that quote up. But then during the reunion, my opinion of Brennan is still the same of like whatever.
Oh,
Like,
it is? Did you watch the second episode of the
yeah,
reunion?
like 5 times because I was like falling asleep.
Okay. So that's funny because I have a different feeling and view of him now.
I just
Um,
don't. I don't.
I think the reason partly is because I feel like that group of girls, Chloe excluded, okay, they they're like, I don't know, on a real negative train that I don't like. And I can understand being fired up and I can understand feeling like you're in your angry phase and all of that and like wanting to rip people a new one. I mean, I get it. Like female rage, yes, go for it. At the same time, I feel like the way they're going about it and they're like, they went along with evidently this whole plan to sabotage the show and to show
Yeah.
like they chose to go along with this from day one, basically, with the men. And they're like, oh, I was manipulated. I like they're acting like they're victims. And I'm like, but you chose on day one. How did he manipulate you so much in like one day? Like, but yet they want to act like, oh, we're such strong, empowered women and we're bad bitches and we're okay. And I thought the host had a great question. He's like, if you are such strong, and he wasn't saying it in a negative way, he was just like, can you explain to me how both of these things are true? Like, if you are such this bad bitch energy and you're so great and you're up above these men, then how or why did you succumb to the plan? Why did you go along with it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I just don't know if I buy into
Just
any of that shit that they're saying.
I don't even know. That was going to be my question for you. I just could not get a good feel of who I thought like was telling the truth, and I couldn't get a good feel for like any of it. To be honest with you, like even Becca, like I just didn't feel like
No.
have any
Yeah.
clarity about what actually went down or what actually happened. Like there were
Same.
no receipts, there were no texts, there were no video evidence. Like I just couldn't. So I have just a hard time, and I'm just kind of glad that we're like washing our hands of this and done with it, because I just did not feel solid in anything
Yeah.
anyone was saying, and I honestly felt like Claire is like the little puppet master manipulator
Oh.
person. Because like
And
when she was like trying to like diminish Emily, she's like, she's good, she's fine, you're good, you're fine. Like when somebody else was talking to her, and I'm just like, what is this about? Like I feel like she thinks it looks good or makes her look good
yeah.
when she does stuff like that, but I just don't understand like where that's coming from, because like if I was trying to talk and she's literally like blah blah blah, like whatever.
I agree. I just don't have good vibes from any of those women. And I felt like Emily was so rude and negative and horrible attitude. Like, oh my God. And the way she talked to Brennan and belittled him and like, and then she was being so negative, and then he goes, "This is an example of what I meant with the negative attitude." When he had said to her he wanted a positive person, and she like went in the bathroom and cried when they
Mhm.
before they broke up and was like, "I'm so positive if he doesn't know." And I think up to that point, what we had seen of her, like most, not completely, but mostly she was, that maybe he had been living with when the cameras weren't around this side of her. And so
Yeah,
I think that's why, like, I really, we don't know the whole story, and that's obvious. And so I just feel like it actually made me look at him like he's more of, I'm not saying he's a total stand up guy, but he's more of a stand up guy than I thought he was, because he like was obviously dealing with this alternate personality of hers that we hadn't
right.
seen.
Right. Well,
And
his facial expressions during the reunion, I just was like, all right, you're not giving me great. You're giving me like original Brennan, like
yeah,
not the greatest vibes. I just think once it came to light that the whole season had been cheated by the contestants, whatever you want to call them,
yeah,
by the people on the show, it all made so much more sense to me why the whole season just was crap and didn't make any sense, because they
right.
all purposefully like did this whole bit, and then it just like, I don't know. I just didn't connect with anybody. I didn't feel like I really felt strongly for anybody. And normally, like when I'm watching reality shows, I will connect with people. I'll just be like, oh wow, like
Hmm.
whatever. And this time I just didn't, and it all makes sense. It makes total sense why I didn't really even enjoy the whole season, because of the way it was
Yes.
manipulated.
Well, and I
And
said to you, it was very different than past seasons.
yeah, you have said that.
I
Yeah,
was like, I don't remember it being like this. Like I really liked it before. Yeah, they like fucked the whole thing up by saying
yeah,
we are going to basically control and manipulate the story of what's on TV and what's not.
yeah.
And
And like most of the time when you control something, like it makes it worse. There's so many things out of your control, and by trying to control it instead of just giving in to what is happening,
right.
it just makes everything so much worse. And I clearly need to take my own advice, that, but that's just like, this is just more proof that the more you try and control and manipulate,
Yes.
the worse things get. And like going into a known situation, like, and this is advice that I could give and share, like a personal story from the weekend. I won't go there, but like in your mind, knowing that you're going into a reality TV show situation, you already know that you are going to be giving the world a
Yeah.
viewpoint of your life. And
Yeah.
you already know that they are probably going to come at you swinging. However, you are agreeing to do that. So your plan, quote unquote plan, should be to try and navigate it the best you can. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
And then at the
And
end of it, that's all you have to say. I tried to
and
navigate
navigate
this
it
the best I could.
with the new person, right? And also navigate
Yeah.
it with this person that you're embarking on the journey with. How
Yeah.
can we, oh my God, how much you could learn about your new spouse
Right.
and how you all navigate things together by just saying, we're going to just go in and do this together.
Yeah.
And
This is going to be a great adventure.
yeah, we're going to work together on it. When hard shit comes up, we're going to say it. We're going to be there for each other. Like, let's learn a lot about each other through this process, because what, like, a beautiful container. I mean, it is a crazy ass container to do it in, but like, it kind of it puts everything in a supersonic speed
Yeah.
where you're in this really neat, cool, different, unique container that most people don't have when they get married or when they start dating.
Yeah. They're
And
like, literally, you have no wants or needs, basically. You just like,
Yeah,
Like,
and
and they like do all this stuff for you.
yeah, and you are having all these things in the spotlight. So how do you work together to make each other feel safe, seen, wanted,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
desired, needed, loved, cared for, fun, pleasure, play? Like, how do you, to keep it light, to keep it, you know, juicy, like all the things. That's, they had a great opportunity. And instead of taking that and doing that with it, they said, oh, we're going to make it about like everyone else and we're going to just control what's said. And
Yeah, we're not gonna let them spin the narrative or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, is this gonna be the new batch of reality TV show, like where
oh,
they try so hard not to let the producers get to them?
mhm.
Like, then don't sign up, I guess. Like
But
that's
they're
my
hanging out
opinion.
with the producers like in their free time, but they
Yeah,
don't want to be real
yeah,
on the show. Like that's weird to me.
yeah.
Also, I was blown the fuck away when Cameron said that he would like to try again with Claire.
I
Basically.
wondered if it wasn't a tactic. I literally wrote that down. It's funny you're bringing that up because I wrote it down. I was like, okay, Cameron, is this like a tactic to try and prove your point? Because I think he did prove a point.
Oh
She
yeah,
wasn't going to go along with it no matter what. She didn't want to be with him as much as she,
right.
like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? As much as
Oh,
she thought that he was horrible or he was the villain, she did not want to be with him. So he proved a point there by doing that. He
so
proved his point. She didn't want to be with him.
no, she didn't. And I also think that he proved a point that she participated willingly
Oh,
and she
yeah.
wanted to blame him for everything. That's what really pissed me off when you boil it down
Yeah.
with Claire, Becca, and Lauren. What really pissed me off is that they just wanted to blame the men for their choices. Like, no, you made that choice. You could have said, that's not what I want. And that's not the kind of husband I want. I want a husband who shows up present and authentic, and I'm not interested. Or,
Yeah.
okay, I'll play with it, but if along the way that doesn't feel right, then I'm going to shift or whatever. They, like, all they did was come in there and blame the men like they didn't do anything. They also did it, they participated in it. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, the men are so bad for doing this. I'm like, you did it too.
It just was so annoying to me the whole time because I was like, okay, so the truth about the whatever, let's cheat this system thing came out. But then after that, I still did not feel like there was any truth, any clarity. It was nuts. Like it was just nuts. And I'm so glad it's over. I do
Yeah.
want to read that quote. I think it was good. You talked about Michael. I want to read that quote about um
Uh,
where did I put it? Michael's friend. Oh, what did he say? Okay. Michael's friend says at some point you just have to trust in someone, put yourself out there, trust the factors that you know. And
yeah.
I was, because he was telling him to say yes,
Yes. He said I would probably say yes if I were you. He told him.
right? And then I have another Dr. Cal. He said overanalyze and talk ourselves out of things. And I would agree with that. We overanalyze stuff and and I think that's kind of where Michael was. Like,
Yeah.
trust what you know. I totally agreed with his friend. Look at the facts, look at what you're being presented with, and go with that. Like, instead of being like, well, I don't know, it could be, it might be, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, you already, I don't know. I think Michael made a mistake, but that's my opinion.
I agree with you, but I think another thing, so two things, because it loops back to this mistake thing. But
Yeah.
first of all, when they were talking and like deciding, I think it was when they were at their decision day, but maybe it was a different time. I think it was then though. He kept saying like, I'm having all these negative emotions or negative feelings. Like, and then he was listing them like, oh, he's feeling stressed or he's feeling this or that. And then he was like, and I should be feeling these positive feelings. And he listed them. And that really stood out to me because I think it's really easy for us to judge our emotions as good or bad or right or wrong or positive or negative. But the truth is, we are meant to feel the spectrum of emotions. We're meant to feel everything. And if we don't feel the quote unquote negative ones, we can't fully feel and experience the positive. It's like we've talked about this in past
Yeah.
discussions, like there's that spectrum, and you can only feel as much joy as you can feel pain, and you can only feel like, because the depths extend on both sides, and you can't like go way into joy if you can't go way into pain because there's too much
You're gonna make
risk.
me cry. I've had such a hard life lately. You're gonna make me cry because I'm like, okay, well, I just really expanded the depths of my pain over the weekend. So now I should be allowed to like
Yes.
really get into the joy side one of these days. Make me
Yeah,
cry.
because you, in doing that, that's beautiful. In doing that, you have expanded your depths of joy. So when it doesn't mean that in that moment you're going to feel the depths of your joy. It means
Yeah.
you now unlocked a new depth for yourself so that you can access it. So when that time comes, you will access deeper, more vibrant, more connected joy because you went somewhere new with pain. And I
Oh,
think like
oh,
it's easy to look at things like, oh, this is so bad or negative or resist it. I don't want to feel this feeling. It doesn't even necessarily mean, it could mean this, but it doesn't necessarily mean the situation's wrong or there's a problem to fix. It could just be, this is what it feels like to be alive.
mhm.
And even when you're with someone and married to someone that's like the best fucking catch on the planet, you are going to probably at some point in your life feel still those quote unquote negative emotions because you're a human and it's like that's life. Like people don't always meet your expectations, or, you know, you just might get uncomfortable because something that someone did that wasn't even bad or wrong just triggered something in you from your past experiences. So I think that's the first thing. Like I was just kind of like, whoa, he has a lot of judgment around his emotions. And a lot of us do. But then I think he let that control his future trajectory. And that's
Yeah. I
like,
would be curious because I mean, when you get married or you make a big decision, we'll just say that when you make a big decision in general, you are stressed. You're overloaded. Your sensations are overloaded. You're just nervous and especially when it comes to like unknowns, like decisions about unknowns, I feel like really heighten your emotions. It is stressful. It's not always pleasant and joyful and whatever.
right.
And I would be curious how many people enter into marriage being stressed and worried about their future and like, is it going to work? I mean, how many people can just say that they go into their wedding and they're just so blissfully just ready to go, ready to take it on? There are no fears, no worries, no stress, no concerns. I mean, I don't know. I would be really curious how many people can say, without a doubt, I walked into my wedding day without any fears, hesitations, reservations, whatever. Because you don't, it is one of those things you don't know. It's just like buying a house or, any big decision in life. Like, okay, this is minute, but like homeschooling versus sending your kid to school because I'm headed back to school with mine. Like, I really feel like that's a big decision, and I don't ever necessarily feel settled on it. And sending him back to school, I feel sad and negative and all of these bad emotions. But that does not mean I'm not going to send him to school because that is what I feel like is probably the best for him and I. And
Yeah.
and
Also, not a bad
it
emotion.
doesn't always feel good. Yeah, it doesn't always feel good, but that
Right.
doesn't mean that it's not the right decision or that it's going to be unsuccessful or whatever the case may be. Like,
Right.
If Jeremy said tomorrow that I had to go out and get a job, I would be like so sad, so upset. I would feel all of these negative emotions, but that doesn't mean it's not the right decision for us or for our family. Like it just sometimes it's not always blissfully like rainbows and butterflies. And I think so many people have put this in their mind that
Yeah.
when they get married, that they should be feeling all of these things. And that's just not, I don't know that that's
Sometimes we
realistic.
feel sorrow. Sometimes we feel anger. Sometimes we feel, depressed. Sometimes we feel like disappointed. Shit, this just didn't meet my expectation.
Yeah.
And sometimes some of that is back to the control piece, like releasing control and just saying, like knowing what to surrender to and what to fight for and what
Mhm.
to like not settle for and what like that is a very personal journey. But it was funny because you were like, when you were talking about the homeschooling thing, and you were like, and I've been feeling these bad emotions. And even that, it's like, and I do this too. I'm not like calling everyone else out because I also have to remind myself. And I don't do it as much really anymore because I have worked on it a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
and my
Mhm.
mentor who I started working with like almost 20 years ago now, like she from the very beginning really worked with me on this because my marriage was falling apart when I went to her. And that was like a really devastating time in my life. And I had a new child. And she really helped me reframe like all those things I was feeling. Like, yeah, it was so sad. I mean, I expected to be married forever to my ex-husband, and I expected our family to be together forever, and I desired that and I longed for that. So, yeah, it was really, really sad. And also, this sadness I was feeling about certain things happening and the anger I was feeling and all of that, they weren't necessarily bad. They were just illuminating something in me, guiding me a path to like, what is my deepest truth and desire? Do I like, is it worth it for me to stay here? Because I had stayed for so long in something that and fought for it and fought for it. And there came a point, it's like, no, I have to surrender to the truth of what is.
Yeah.
And the truth of what is that if I stay here, I'm going to feel like this forever. Because
No. Find a difference. Yeah.
if
I
I stay here, I'm going to feel like this forever because I'm not, nothing's changing in
Mhm.
my external reality. Like, and this is who, so I don't love myself enough, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I can totally see, yeah, I totally see what you're saying and where you're coming from. Because
and I
I think we
needed
all
those emotions to make the right decision for myself.
to make the right decision and to embrace what is to come and
Right.
to know that when things are good, they're really good.
And when we look and we truly feel and look at the negative, quote unquote, negative aspects of what our emotions or whatever, when we have the courage to look at that, then we can really get the information from them, like, and learn, is this a part of me that I'm being unrealistic or need to heal or whatever, and I do just need to surrender, or is this really out of alignment, right? Like we
Yeah.
have to
Hmm.
really develop a trust with ourselves in working with those emotions. But if we just view them as bad and run from them and don't look at them because they're bad, then we'll never have that personal growth.
Yeah. So, like, for example, I'll just run through that with my son and sending him back to school. It's more of like insecurities on my part, insecurities of fears of things that I went through, whether they were that bad or not. And
Right.
most of the feelings like when I was in school were not that bad as far as I know. But just it makes me like tense up and get really nervous And I
Yeah.
just want to say, no, I don't want him to experience any of that stuff at all.
Yeah.
But then I'm hindering his growth as a person. I'm not allowing him to grow as a person if I'm always there stepping in and controlling his environment. And
Yeah.
like the
Beautiful.
reality of it long term is, if I don't let him experience life now, will I let him experience life when he's 18 and has the ability to move out of my house?
Right.
No, because I'll still be in my tense, controlled, I can't let you do this thing. And
Will you
it's
have
just not gonna work.
prepared him? And will
Yeah.
you have prepared him to experience life when he's 18? Because letting him experience it in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, incrementally through the years, and I'm looking at this with my son who turns 18 in a couple of months. Letting them experience things incrementally that, oh my God, do rip our hearts out as moms, but trusting them, encouraging them, supporting them, loving them,
Mm-hmm.
letting them fly on each level prepares them to really fly when they are a man.
Yeah. Yeah. You're exactly right.
I
And
commend you. I commend you.
I'll do the and also thing. And also
Mhm.
trusting my inner knowing,
Yes.
realizing that at some point, if school does not work for us
Yes.
at any given time, if school does not work for us and it is not the best for him, then that's the end of it. We'll figure
Perfect.
something else out. There
Yes.
are options out there, and we will find something else that does work for us. I'm not saying that I'm going with the flow at this point. Right now, what we're doing is working for us. And if it ever changes, we will figure it out then.
Your line 3 is speaking, girlfriend, and I get it. I'm a line 3 too. Go with the flow, shift, pivot, change, move. I'm also manifesting generators that like a lot of that kind of energy.
Yeah.
I think it's so important. And I also, we changed schools with my son because I wanted him in private Montessori. He wanted to go to kindergarten public with one of his friends that he had been friends with before. So we did both kindergarten, and then we went to one Montessori, and then a couple of years later a different one, and like we just pivoted and moved. And then when we moved here, I was like, do you want to be homeschooled? Do you want, like, it's all, you have to just stay flexible with life, period.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're doing a great job, and that's a wonderful example of, how to, like, okay, this is a me thing, and I still need to let him fly. And then the other, example I gave was like, okay, well, the way I can fly is I do have to leave this marriage, and that's breaking my heart and ripping it out. But it's like, that was the truth.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So we never know what the answer is going to be until we dive in there.
No. And this goes back to the whole, and Michael obviously made the right decision for himself. He thought, whatever, I can just sit here and be like, you did it wrong, buddy. But I think that just goes back to what his friend said, trust what you know. And then Dr. Cal says, stop over analyzing, stop overthinking, because we are our own worst enemy.
Yeah.
When it comes to decisions, and you just spin it and spin it and spin it and spin it, and you just can't get to a good resolution.
Yeah.
Because you're just like all over the place.
I agree. And I have one other little thing I wanted to say before we move to The Bachelor. And if there's anything else you want to say too, that's fine. But I wanted to just touch on this idea because it came up a couple of times in these episodes of Chloe saying that, like, whatever the universe has for you will not pass you by. And we talked about that too with April, kind of said the same thing in the Bachelor in Paradise, I think last episode we talked about it, or the one before. But in the reunion, the host asked Chloe if she would be interested or open to exploring things again with Michael, because Michael kind of alluded to that.
Mm-hmm.
And she said no, that she felt like when Michael said no to her on decision day, that was the universe basically saying he's not the one for her. And so that was it. Like, she's moving on. And I was curious, like, what your thoughts were on that, because that was interesting to me, because I have gone in and out of relationships like multiple times, and it's, I'm sure, part of just my line 3 thing. But I thought that perspective was very fascinating. Like, oh, if someone says no, it's just no.
I like that because I feel like that takes a lot of confusion out of it. Like,
Mhm.
if you said no, then you'll probably say no again at some point. So we're just not play the game, I guess, is how I feel about it. Like, I like that she just is like, no, like, it's done and over. We're moving on. You did pee. Did you pee on the floor? We're trying underwear on today. I had her go earlier. Okay, I'll get it in a minute. Um, anyway, so
But then
so I think Chloe, I wrote down a quote from her. I actually just looked, and she talked about how she's transformationally different. By doing this process, she's transformationally different than what she was.
yeah,
And I was like, wow, good for you, girl. And I think recognizing that and honoring that and knowing, and maybe she'll change her mind at some point with another person, but knowing that, like, he had an opportunity at that time, he said no, and then just closing that chapter instead of,
I think partly there's a lot that plays into this for me. Like,
yeah.
um, you know, when I'm thinking about it in human design terms, I'm thinking, gosh, I'm a line 3, I'm a manifesting generator, I'm an emotional authority. My tone in my personal health system, my PHS, is feeling, so it's very arc related. Um, so I'm thinking like all these information's coming in my brain from that perspective, and then I'm reflecting on my lived experience of, like, I do change my mind on things, and I do, and part of my growth has been, okay, well, like, maybe I do need to go back into this thing because now I see it completely differently or feel completely differently. So, like, it's interesting because I can see how people would maybe change their mind, or, through the experience, then go have personal growth and then come back. I can also see how that could just be nostalgia. Like, oh, that could have been good or whatever. So maybe I should give it another try because it was,
So,
I
question
don't know
though,
the answer.
the things that you have revisited, have they been successful or have they ended in the same result?
Um, well, that depends on how you define success. Um, so one of the main things, like when I went back into a relationship with my ex-husband, we were together for 7 more years later, like a couple years later. I don't remember how many. A few years later, we got back together. We were together for 7 years. And that, I can see the purpose in that. Why that was really necessary, and there was a purpose. Are we together now? No.
Hmm.
Um, but I see why, as a unit, he, Jagger, and I needed that 7 years.
Yeah.
So, was it successful? Yeah, I think so. Um, you know, the same thing, like, I left my job when I was pregnant and I moved to Louisville with my ex-husband. And then when we were going through our divorce, I got my job back on base at Rat Pat. And that was something I was just like, I never really wanted to go back to work in a cubicle again. I didn't want to do it, but I knew I was guided to go back into that because I tried, you know, being more of like a mom and owning a business. I had a clothing store in Louisville, and really like putting my all into my marriage, and then
Yeah.
ending up getting a divorce, and I needed a really steady, the real steady income felt really good to me. And the support that all the masculine containment support the base gave me. So I went back and I was there for multiple years, and it was exactly what I needed. It was exactly what I needed. And then it was time to leave again.
Yeah.
Like, I tend to really love that ebb and flow of life, and I honor that. I also can see Chloe's perspective. And sometimes I think, damn,
yeah,
that would make my life so easy if I just.
it just depends on, in those situations, like, I mean, they both make sense for you at the time. And like for Chloe, it makes sense for her at the time. And maybe her and Michael will revisit it again eventually. I don't know. Well, maybe we'll find out, maybe we won't, because I don't follow any of them on Instagram. So I probably should just go look them up for fun. But I think that there's no wrong or right way of doing things. It's just all different, and it works for
Yes.
all of us one way or the other.
Yeah, I agree. And I think sometimes it's just my life part. I mean, my design all comes into it, but my life is just like meant to be messy. And
Yeah.
sometimes I can look at people's lives that aren't messy and be like, oh, how easy. I just want to be like a sacral generator that gets a yes and no, that doesn't have a line 3, that's like, it's just not messy. I mean, not that their life can't be messy.
So they probably have mess somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
They probably totally have mess somewhere.
And actually, if I'm honest, and if I'm honest, I actually love the mess. Like, I love the mess. If I'm honest,
see, you need the mess. Clearly, you need the mess. If you love the mess, you need the mess. You crave the mess. And Chloe, I don't know that she's a messy girl. I don't know.
Yeah.
She doesn't give me those vibes. She kind of gives me like a
no
very straight. But I'm sure I mean, everybody has mess somewhere. Like there is messy to each person. So it just depends, I guess, on what mess you're okay with and what you're not. Hi.
So, do you want to move on to The Bachelor?
Yeah, we totally can. I'm distracted by there's cuteness in my room right now. A little stinker. Yeah, let's totally move on to The Bachelor. I think I have my notes pulled up. I am over it though. I just don't, I'll be real honest. I don't understand. I feel like by adding the game show element to it and the money to it, I don't think that they will have a lot of successful couples. That's how I feel about it. Because now it's not about getting to know each other and developing a relationship like it had been in the past. It's about winning. And I'm a little frustrated. And I didn't like how Bailey got to decide who could go home or who was sent home. Like, I don't love that. I feel like they're just creating a more stressful environment rather than trying to cultivate relationships and love. And I'm just not.
It feels like it's bringing out already, and it's only been one episode of this, but I feel like it's bringing out inauthentic, like strategizing and communication, like, but it's an inauthentic, like, who can we go manipulate to keep us? Like, if she has the rose, what can we do to try to make her keep us here? Rather than, I'm here to like really connect with someone and have this genuine connection, and then us choose like that we're choosing each other through the rose.
Yeah. Which I get that they have to eliminate them somehow so somebody can get the money. I kind of get it. I kind of don't. Like, I guess, didn't it seem like they were going to vote people off next week or something? I don't remember. Like voting off the people.
Yeah, maybe.
I just don't like love that. Come here, Abigail.
Yeah, I just feel very I mean, I don't know. There's multiple levels of frustration for me. I mean, that the game show aspect's one. Another aspect is like these quote unquote men who
Oh my gosh, girl.
just acting like little boys or something.
Yeah, I don't like any of that. Yeah, all of those guys, like I'd much rather watch the Golden Men because I'm just so like or Spencer and Jess. Let's watch them some more because Spencer seems to have it going on. And like even Andrew, he seems to be pretty set with Alex, but these other ones who are like playing this game, like Brian, Jeremy, Jonathan,
Were you surprised by Kim this time?
don't understand any of that. What by what specifically?
Well, I thought the weeks before he acted like player, and I said that to you. I'm like, he's like this golden bachelor and he's acting like a player. But
Yeah.
now suddenly he he like has this connection where he seems more authentic.
Yes, I would agree. And I think sometimes like the whole rose ceremony process of elimination kind of thing messes with people and they want to stay. And so they'll like act in a certain way to try and get to stay instead of just embracing the fact that like, well, if nobody's here that I like really like, I'm gonna go home. Like a lot of them come in with that like, oh, I need to stay kind of a thing. Like Jonathan. Jonathan just keeps kind of like muddling around,
He's
playing this
wearing me
little
out.
game. And then that way he'll be able to stay. And it's like, okay, but you don't really even like her. So why? I mean, just a free vacation. Like I get, but you guys are influencers now. You can get another vacation. Like, come
No,
on,
now
dude.
now he's in it because he wants the $500,000. So now he's not
I
gonna
can't handle it.
there's $500,000 at stake, and he's not gonna
He's
honest.
not gonna win it anyway.
I
He
agree
won't
with
win. He won't win.
no, I agree, but we don't know the twists and turns coming, and I just think that that's also why she stayed even after the girls were telling her. I think Kat was who told her, like he said he's not interested in you more than just friends. And when she went and talked to Jonathan about it, and he said, well, I am just friends with you, but I don't know. Maybe something could change. I don't know. Like, and then I feel like part of her really wanted to just leave. But there again, now there's this money thing. So nobody, it's going to take a lot because even if they don't end up together, they could still end up with money.
Yeah. I just don't. I don't. Jonathan's not my vibe. Like everybody talks about how cute he was and all this, and he just is like not very manly, in my opinion. Not very. I should say not very masculine. Not very masculine at all. Because he just kind of like flits and floats around like I don't know, like a middle schooler. That's
Right.
how I look at him, like a little middle schooler trying to find his first girlfriend. Like he just is I don't know. I just don't really like any of that. And then like Jeremy, like his whole deal with Bailey, and I feel really bad for Bailey because she seems like she's so into it. I feel bad for Parisa. She just needs to like get rid of Brian. But I understand where she's coming from because I feel like I've been there before where it's like you really want to be with somebody and this person like showed you attention. So you really want to be with somebody and you'll kind of like try and figure it out, even though he is a total butthole. Like I am not, I just can't with him. He needs to go. Like he needs to get off the beach. Like I'm tired of him being on my screen. There were so many other relationships that I would have rather watched than that. Like some of the golden men that got sent home, wish they were still there.
I
Sam M,
thought,
or is it Sam N? Sam N, whoever it was, Sam M. I think he's Sam M. Whatever Sam came down. I would much rather see him on my screen
right.
than Brian and his crap. I'm so over Brian. I'm
I
tired of him.
thought Bailey might give both of the Goldens the rose. And I was really hoping that's what would happen
Yeah.
because, yeah, I just think it's not a good situation with,
No, I would, but they don't see that though. Like I don't understand why anybody on that beach doesn't see that it's like bad because they're like, well, I think they might have something going, and I want to give them more time
Do
to
you
figure it out. And it's like, what do you see that they have going? Because like, I don't see it.
do you think that Ron's gonna say something about the Jeremy Bailey thing? Because he keeps
Oh yeah, 100%. Because Bailey was like crying next week, so I think probably 100% that that's what's gonna
because he
happen.
keeps bringing it up, and I'm just like, oh my God, like he's
And
had.
he's just as bad. Like, I don't understand why Brian thinks he's just so special. Because in my opinion, he's just as bad. Like, he treats Parisa like crap.
Well, he
How
does,
is that any different?
but I will say I agree with you. He does, and I think just watching it and watching her kind of makes me cringe inside a little because, well, not a little, a lot, because I can just see her that she does not value herself or her self-worth is so low
Yeah.
because she's just like a little puppy dog, like, please pick me, please pay attention to me, please talk to me at the bar, please do. And it's like, look, he either wants to see you and spend time with you and talk to you, or he doesn't. And when you have to bring this up multiple times in one evening, and you're like, I'm going to walk away and see if he even pays attention. He's not paying attention. He doesn't even know I walked away, and like whatever else she says.
Girl, I feel that.
You just are not valuing yourself.
Raise your hand if you've been there. Like,
Yes.
been there, done that.
Yes.
So many times.
Identify it. I'm like, oh my God, that's why it makes me cringe. I'm like, I've been there. Leave, abort mission.
Right? You just like want to get into the TV and be like, girl, you are worth so much more than this. Run. There are so many other men available in Bachelor Nation that you could get a hold of. Like, get out of there.
But I think what's wild to me is all these people are there, even and the golden women. Like, why is no one saying to her, like, la la la? Like, I'm just like, all
I
these.
wonder if people don't know how bad it is, though. I really wonder if people don't know how bad it is, because that's what people were saying. Like, Brian and Priest said, like, they might really hit it off and have something good going. Like, I wonder if she's just not sharing, like, fully with the other girls just how awful it is. Or maybe they can't tell how awful it is. Like, maybe it just looks really bad to us at home and it doesn't look so bad there in person because other people have stuff going on. Like, I don't know. I agree with you. I feel the same way. I'm just like, okay, this feels so familiar in my core. Like, I've been through this, been there, done that. Like, run away.
Yeah,
You
100%.
are worth so much more. Yeah, I don't know. I did when they were playing that game, um oh, I do have that wrote down. Brian is so annoying. You overload me with compliments. What? Get rid of him. Like, a man who doesn't like compliments, whatever. Like, he's clearly not interested. Oh, and then Jeremy was gross. He said he thinks the Goldens are annoying. I'm like, ew, get these boys off this place. I do not like that.
I know he was saying the golden go on their monologues or something.
Ugh. I'm like, okay, that's better than being a little boy who lies. Like,
I
you
know.
little boy liar. I'd rather
Lied the
watch the
whole
Goldens babble to each other.
I know he's lied the whole fucking show, and then he was like taking up for Dale and lying and like acting like whatever and taking up for Jeremy, and he's doing all that, and then behind their back, like, no, I'm gonna let it out. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
I
oh,
just,
that's real masculine.
yeah, that's real cute. Yeah, I'm over him. Did you think during the game? Okay, this is my question to you. I swear, Jesse asked Brian, whatever. Parisa was talking about how much she would like spend on a wedding, and it was like more than $56,000. And I just was like, are your
Your
parents
eyeballs.
like loaded or what? Like, what the heck? I'm sorry. But like, that much money for one night, like, you could buy a new car. You could put a real hefty down payment on a house. Like,
Yeah.
I do remember when we got married, you know, you're just like stressed about all these little details and whatever. And it's like, oh, you know, I just want it to be perfect and I want it to look so and whatever. And then 9 years later, I can't even tell you. Like, all the little details are not in my mind anymore. Like, that's not even what I think about. Like, and honestly, most of the time worrying about those details was that I was afraid people would come in and be like, ew, 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 like this isn't cute, that's not cute. Like, those are my fears. I was afraid of other people's judgments. It wasn't even necessarily that I
What you wanted.
like thought it to be a certain way, but you just feel like pressure that it has to be a certain way. And I just am like shocked by how much money she said she would spend on a wedding. In just a minute, yeah, I will.
Can you watch a movie
of SpongeBob with me? Just for a little bit until I'm off of here, and then we're going outside.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I have no clue how much somebody spends on a wedding. I have no idea.
I mean, I guess a destination wedding on the beach where you're like flying everybody in and paying for everybody's hotels. Maybe that's what they're thinking.
Yeah,
But
I have no idea, but I will say some of those questions really cracked me up. And then it was funny when they asked the body count question to me because I was like, do people do that? Like keep a log of like who they've been with and know?
I have no idea. Probably. I would bet some people probably do.
Okay.
And maybe it's more of like a younger, immature thing versus like an older thing. Maybe it's a guesstimate. I don't know.
And also,
I don't know, but I personally would not like love like sometimes some of that stuff. Even like Parissa's question, because here I am like, what is happening? Like I wouldn't love people knowing certain like information about me. Yeah, because I don't feel like it's anybody else's business.
right. And I know it, like, this just made me think of it. It's like just a game, whatever, it doesn't matter. But I was just thinking about, I think it's like, to me, a
Yeah.
number, like when they were talking about body count, a number is like irrelevant because I don't know. I just think it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway. Okay, do you have anything else?
I don't think so. I'm just not in love with this season and I'm real sad about it because it was my favorite Bachelor show.
I know. We'll see. Hopefully. I mean, it did pick up there for a minute and then it kind of went backwards again. So we'll see. But I did see that they are planning to have another Bachelor, Bachelorette because they asked people to apply.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so next week, Married at First Sight is over. Next week we will be doing Bachelor in Paradise, and then we'll see how many perfect match episodes we can get into. We didn't do it this week because it was a lot. Those reunion episodes were like crazy long.
They were long. And then the Bachelor one was 2 hours too, so it was a lot.
Yeah, so I think perfect match, we have like only half of the series released so far, and then I think on the 8th, which is like, what is today? I don't know what today's date is. Today's 7th?
Yeah.
Today's the 7th. Okay, well tomorrow they release I think the rest of them, but I doubt the reunion. So we'll get started on that for next week.
Yeah. And I will say, I know I like gave the Married at First Sight women a lot of shit. I will say the one thing I did like is that their little boudoir shoot.
Oh yeah, that was fun. I did think that was real cute. And I took note of that. I was like, good for you. I think
and they celebrated their body they were worried about or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought that was good.
I think if you're going to go on reality TV, you just need to let the process do its thing. Try and do your best, and that's all you can do. Don't try and like force an issue. It did not work. It did not work, people.
Right. I agree. All right. Well, this has been lovely. I've enjoyed talking with you.
Yeah. We'll talk again next week, girl.
Yes, we will. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.